Yo, Junior?
Yeah.
My 15-year-old is Junior.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
They say he's smart.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, he's stupid, just like the rest of us, you know?
All free.
I heard this community online.
That's wild.
If I ask you to prove that the Earth is a globe, what proof would you give us
What proof?
that it's a globe?
Yeah. You guys play any sports?
I used to play lacrosse.
Lacrosse?
Yeah, now we just skate.
Because there's a prize out there for hundreds of thousands of dollars for anybody that can prove it's a globe.
My son
Yeah.
Actually, $1 million. Two.
Three Bitcoins, and then there's another guy that'll add 100,000 cash to it. Another guy that'll do
I bet he's quick
12,000.
though.
Oh, he's quick.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
over this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of convinced that it's not as spiritual as we may believe it is. But as far as it being like
Come out there and watch. You know, he goes to Blackwood.
Well, we have topography, so it's not going to be completely flat. There are going to be valleys and mountains, but the overall shape of it has to be flat because water always finds its level. Like if I pour water in a cup, the surface of the water in that cup is flat. The same thing in a pond or a lake, a bathtub, the ocean. So 70% of the earth is water. 70% of something can't be flat and a ball.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And everything that we
And when you say, people say, how does water
I
bend?
just
You
don't
say
think
gravity.
flat is the word though.
Level plane. Think of it as a level plane. I don't like the flat thing either because flat makes you think
don't trust your
flat Earth society and that bullshit. But a level plane means it could go beyond what we know. They say this is what we know. There's this much and this much and this much further on out.
How do you prove that a virus?
I just say geometrically, like we don't know what I know.
Died. My mom's friend died.
I agree.
That's the correct answer.
She was 30.
One of the biggest things I like to ask science teachers is this question. We have science teachers come out here and we talk to them. Is if I open up a can of soda, what happens to the air inside that can of soda?
Respiratory
Expel
Right, it escapes to equalize the pressure around it, right? So if you have an atmosphere, which is gas pressure, next to a vacuum of space, which is 10 to the negative 17 torr, the ultimate vacuum. How do you have gas pressure next to a vacuum without a barrier? Because it would leave to fill the void around it, just like opening a can. So there's no scientist on Earth that can explain that. Matter of fact, if you ask like Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill Nye, any of the like top scientists in the world, they'll just talk about something else and completely avoid the question because there's no explanation for it.
There is no explanation. I was also thinking, this is crazy. This is how convenient this is. But I went mountain hiking.
Take it away so that you know that that's
Table Rock.
virus is what kills
Have you
the
ever?
person.
Yes, yeah,
And once
I've been
you
there.
isolate it,
Like once you kind of get to a certain level and you just kind of view out, it almost
they
like,
must die.
I mean, obviously not high enough
or show
to
symptoms
be able to
of
really
it,
tell
and then you gotta
if there's any curvature.
re-identify,
But you can kind of see for really far out, and it's not like how you viewing a mountain top on like a phone or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like once you stand there and you kind of like comprehend like what's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of.
You're not up in like a plane where the fuselage is curved, where you're looking through a curved window that gives you the effect stuff's curved. And Neil deGrasse Tyson said you wouldn't even be able to see curvature from the height of the Red Bull jump.
Remember the guy jumped out of the Red Bull thing? He took a balloon up, what, 128 miles, whatever it was, and you showed the curvature of the earth, right? But it's through a fisheye lens.
What's your name?
Fisheye lens makes everything look spherical, right?
So what they forgot to do is turn off the camera that was on the inside, because on the inside camera, you see the Earth's flat through the window.
You kids need to learn how to talk, converse with people, give respect, right? That old man didn't get any respect.
I'll continue to look into it. I know there's a lot of.
So would you say that
That's all we're trying to do is get people look at it.
shaped like this?
Well, can you give me that book over there?
Take one. You can have them.
All right, just hand us that book right there.
It is nice talking to you.
All right. You take a flyer? I'll take a flyer.
David Weiss's coffee
We
table
know
book here.
that it's not a ball, you know? Because if it's a ball, you have to use geometry to measure it, right? Or if it's a square, or if it's a triangle, there's geometry to do it. We try to use what they're telling us, those spherical geometry, and it does not compute.
Everything you want to
So what would be on that? What would be on the edge of?
Well, okay, you know Lake Murray, right?
Yeah.
And you know those islands in the middle?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Let me show you a picture. Okay, this is like, it's called an AE map.
Yeah.
azimuth or equidistant. See, just imagine this is like Lake Murray and those islands in the middle. We circumnavigate this way and this way, but we cannot go under the lake, right? And the shoreline that you're talking about is just here, okay? And that's what we call Antarctica.
David Weiss gave it to us.
You know,
Help with
me
activism.
going through the school system here, 40 years ago, right? We call this, they say it's a continent, right? But we call it, we call it? The Antarctic Circle.
They call it
Antarctic ring. How is a continent like a ring? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would you call that a circle? No, you wouldn't call that a ring either, right? But we call it the Antarctic Circle, Antarctic ring. Captain Cook tried to circumnavigate Antarctica. It's supposed to be the size of this, right? Yeah. Sail it for easy. It took him 5 years to circumnavigate the coastline.
Yeah.
And instead of being how the circumference of
So the circumference of Antarctica, that latitude should be around 16 to 18,000 miles around, right? He traveled 76,600 miles.
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
Flat Earth or something.
Well, yeah.
True earthers.
How about
The
yourself?
true earthers. True shape of the earth.
I don't believe it.
Because right now,
You ever been up there before?
yeah, I'm a pilot.
You been to the
Used to be a
moon?
pilot. No, nobody's been to the moon.
Have you been to the moon?
You can't go to the moon.
You see, and it's hard to talk to
You can't have
people
gas pressure next to a
that
vacuum
ask you,
without a
have you been
container,
to the
right?
moon? Have you been to the
It's the
egg?
second law of
Have you
thermodynamics.
been
One
to?
large step
Don't
for
ask the
mankind.
stupid
Wasn't
questions.
That's nonsense.
There are stupid questions. You know what I mean?
So what
We can
is-
debunk that.
Now, how you figure that
What do you
when
think about like
when you
jet
ain't never
streams
been
and
there?
flight
Prove it.
lines and the
Because
way-
the astronauts are coming back, and Miroslav Hermitsky, who's one of the astronauts, he said the Earth is not a globe; it's flat. Buzz Aldrin said it was all a show in his interview. Never went.
Spins.
never went?
Never went.
Where'd they go?
Rotates, right?
Uh,
Okay. From
didn't go anywhere.
we're spinning
pictures they did?
from west to east.
They're all fake, and the reason why you can tell they're fake is if I look at the moon from here, we always see the same face of the moon, right?
Not the same thing.
The moon is tidally locked, supposedly, according to mainstream science. So you always see the same face of the moon at all times.
Isn't our
Now, if I was standing on the face of that moon and I wanted to
Trying
see,
to tell me that in the winter you see the same face you see the sun.
yeah,
Ain't no rotation.
well that's
No.
wind moving in
no,
the-
the moon rotates this way at 12.4 feet per second. It doesn't rotate this
What does
way
atmos mean?
Not sure.
Air.
How y'all prove that?
Okay.
because I can look at the moon every single night and see the exact same face. And we've done a time lapse over 365 days, and you can see it.
When you open up that propane, if I turn it
You don't
on,
believe in
where does the
viruses,
air go?
do you?
Does it
In what?
stay shape like
In the
this and it comes
coronavirus?
out?
No.
No, right. It disperses.
Never pass Coke's postulate,
I
man.
can tell you what.
This has gas
I don't know what it
pressure,
was,
right?
but
Okay.
my mama got
Now
sick.
they're telling us that
My
the
cousin
Earth
got
has
sick.
gas,
I don't know what it
gas
was.
around it, being
After
held
my
by
sister
what?
visited them from the hospital,
Gravity.
she got
believe in
sick. She
gravity?
about died. The rest of them survived. I don't know what it was, but if it ain't
Flu.
Connell,
Which gravity?
Just because somebody gets sick,
Oh,
it's
no,
always
no.
cold.
When I'm talking, and
People still get sick.
So in 2019,
Let me tell you this.
He got sick.
There was a fella
you talking about?
in Camden, South
Gravity
Carolina,
that holds us.
preacher of a
That
church.
all plane,
Is that
all,
mass?
all bodies
Baptist
in
church,
space
redneck
have,
too.
Is that
all- every
mass?
mass has its own gravity.
He stood up in his
Pulling towards
pulpit.
center of mass,
He
right?
swore
Okay, that's
there
called
wasn't no
Newtonian
COVID.
gravity, right?
He can't talk to
But
today
that
because
has
he
been
dead. You know what he said on his
superseded.
last
You know what
bed?
superseded
what?
I wish I could get another
Pretty
chance.
much kicked.
Tell these people, whatever this is,
Okay.
that you should pay attention. Now that man is in Camden, South
You heard
Carolina.
him? This
Now,
guy-
You know pneumonia kills how many people?
Well, a lot of them. But I'm saying, this here you got to at least know that there are weak people in the world that were sometimes
We're
stronger.
talking about gravity.
And the cold wouldn't kill them, but this will. You got to give up that.
so in the United States in 2019, there was 2.7 million deaths. In 2020, it was 2.6 million deaths. So they actually, during the biggest pandemic in U.S. history, supposedly, we had fewer deaths than the year before. How is that possible?
I don't know about that.
In 2019, 80,000 people died from the flu. In 2020, we lost 3 people. What happened to flu?
1915,
No, there's more people
Einstein
die from the flu.
superseded
If you look up the official
Newtonian
CDC
gravity.
stats,
That's
3 people.
why you only Einstein for astronomers.
Only for you to see.
But I
They don't use
that's
it.
why-
People don't put the homework.
That's why I'm
See,
asking
when
this
something
stuff. Good place.
superseded,
You
it's
can
no
do anything you
longer
want.
it's
Say what you
invalid,
want.
right?
But
They
just
cannot
look up the
prove it. It's
facts.
the
That's all.
bending
That's all we
and
ask.
warping of space-time.
If you're
I
researching
don't
yourself,
even see why you spend
Because no
time
one
on
will
it.
tell you
Because
except for dumb flat earth.
it ain't gonna get you nowhere. You don't believe in God?
Of course I believe in God. I believe in a creator.
Okay.
You believe in God? Jehovah.
show you
I believe in a
exactly
creator, yes.
something created.
Let's get
Yes.
this one in a shake. You pull this one into the shake.
So why waste all the time on this?
Because this brings you closer to the Creator. This is all about the Creator.
Just imagine the room's dark, right?
I didn't believe in God until I found this.
Now, if I held it
This
up,
brings you to God.
it'll be lighted, right?
Because it tells you in the Bible the earth is flat. It doesn't say it's a globe.
Once you see my creation,
Isaiah 40:22 tells you earth is flat.
Through the medium of air, infinitely. They're telling you.